for Lieutenant Governor, State Representative Tami Gouveia.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you to the chairs. Thank you to George for all of your organizing efforts. It's really exciting to be here as we kick off our caucuses. I'm State Representative Tami Gouveia. I'm running to be the next Lieutenant Governor because I believe that we deserve leadership that puts the health, the well-being, and the dignity of every single person at the center of the ways that we are making decisions. And I believe that in a state that is as rich in resources, in history, in culture, in connectedness, that there's no reason why any region or any person in our state should be left behind. I grew up in the city of Lowell. My grandfather was in the Carpenters Union. That really put my family on solid economic footing. It's why my parents were able to buy a two-family home. They rented out the upstairs apartment to stretch their wages. We were very lucky that we were not on the brink of economic disaster. But that was not the case for so many of my classmates, neighbors, and friends in my neighborhood. Families that struggled with intergenerational poverty, xenophobia, and racism. These were things that I was adjacent to and that happened to people that I cared so much about. And it instilled in me a deep sense of empathy and a desire to give back to my community and to go into public service. I've been a public health social worker for the last 25 years, and most of my time has been spent focused on the opioid crisis. In 2007, so early in our efforts to address the opioid crisis, I noticed that the city of Lowell did not have a substance abuse prevention coalition, but all of the surrounding suburbs that are predominantly white did. So I approached the city manager, the chief of police, the heads of hospitals and nonprofits, and we got together and we formed the Lowell Roundtable on substance abuse prevention. And within a year of forming that coalition, we secured $1 million in state and federal money. And we went on to secure millions more. Yes, you can clap at that. Because I know here in Plymouth County, you have a lot of substance abuse prevention coalitions and great partnership with your law enforcement agencies to address the issues. And I've been doing that for so long, again, since 2007. Along the way, I became a single parent to my kids who were 6 and 3 years old at the time. They're 20 and 17 now, doing as well as most kids their ages, just given all the struggles, climate crisis, COVID, rising costs of healthcare, education, and housing. But back when I became a single parent, I suffered from the downturn, the recession, and became unemployed. I struggled with, how do I make ends meet every single week? What's going to happen to me if my car breaks down? How am I going to get my kids to work? How am I going to get myself to work? How am I going to get my kids to school? So the experiences that so many of our families have today are experiences I've lived through, and the feelings of isolation and shame that come with economic insecurity. And folks, it's hard. It is really, really hard out there for so many of our families. It's been hard even before COVID, particularly in our black and brown families and immigrant families. So I've lived through it, but I'm also privileged, and I know that. I'm white, I'm educated, I speak English, I have connections here, so I landed on my feet. I moved to Acton, I became the state representative, and I've been serving for the last 3 years. I'm running for lieutenant governor, and I was the first to get in back in June, crisscrossing the state to get to know the issues. I'm running to take my lived experience, my professional background. I'm now a doctor of public health, which I earned that in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Want to take those experiences. Thank you. I want to take those experiences that I've been so privileged to have the opportunities to earn as your next lieutenant governor, putting the health, well-being, and dignity of every single person at the center. We invite you to join our historic campaign. My name is Tami Gouveia. I have all the vowels in my last name. You can look it up. You can count them out if you like. We ask you to join us. We ask you when you run for your caucus that you become a delegate and that you join us all the way through November in this campaign. Thank you so very much.